Today, right here, right now, a true opportunity for the Panthers to win their third straight game. A near 12-hour travel day, weather and mechanical issues, FIU arriving at the hotel after midnight last night.
Hey, legendary on three, 1, 2, 3, legendary.
There are no excuses for McIntyre's squad. The focus is on UConn, a chance to get them back from last year, a 33-12 loss, a chance for redemption here today. On the road, it's FIU and UConn.
Old school football today, right? You're going to have chances to make plays. Be disciplined with your eyes.
Hey, your mom, right? Hey, your mom, right? We got to go take it, baby.
He's greater than me. We've been preaching it. Okay, you're living it. You're doing it. Okay, the future's now. This is a come together game. Y'all got me?
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
Jenkins with the snap. I'll push it right at that line. Is it enough to get in the end zone? Panthers saying it is.
What a second effort.
Touchdown. Kewan Jenkins would not be denied. What a statement on the first drive of the game. Panthers 6-0.
Comes up, makes a big play. Looking for 6 for 6. Time. Sets up. Big ball. Brought in. Big catch. It's a pickup of 48 yards. Short field goal here for Gabriel. Beginning the second quarter. And he's got it. And the Panthers have 3 more points.
The world brought me to my knees with it.
Big hit. Dropped by Manuel. Right away. Another big loss.
Your name in on the guest list. Who brung you? You, the more famous person you come through. And the
conversion. Jenkins thinking about running it. Then he's going to throw it. Hollow, perfect delivery. It's a touchdown for Jalen Bracey at FIU. Gunslinger on the money to Bracey. First down. Clock ticks. First half. Jenkins, deep ball. There's Mitchell. Who's got it? Chris Mitchell. Touchdown FIU. What a throw, what a grab. Panthers score again. Comes some pressure. Down he goes. Jeremy Passmore.
What a chance to the attack. Let's do it. Somebody light me up. Oh!
Magnified times 5, this is pointed at the rhyme of ricochets off the moon and set the forest ablaze. Now that's important to say, cause even with all that, most of us don't want it to fade. We want it to break.
Jalen Bracey from about the 8th. The returner FIU breaks a tackle. Bracey, nice run back. Jenkins incomplete on 8 of 9 passes. Third down, big play. The freshman is flushed. Throws on the move. Delivers a perfect pass for Bracey. Play fake. Roberson keeps. Christian says no. CJ Christian read it and puts him down.
24-17. 2:41 to play. Buckle up. UConn starts at the 48 of FIU.
Buckman, the catch. They're running the clock. Daniel has the tackle, but it's not enough for the first down to get to the 11. Huskies have got to have it here.
Oh, they come with the blitz.
Here comes some pressure. Roberson delivers. Perfect pass. Ross has got it. Where's the spot? He didn't get there. It's short. FIU holds. And the Panthers are going to win.
3 in a row. Come on, man. You know how we do it. Wise man once said the future is now. That's what he said.
Stay on top of that mountain. Paws up.
Why would you not want to be at FIU? Let's go. Hey, man, I told y'all how we were stepping. We came in UConn to take over. Now what we did, baby. First victory on the road. Clean the motor, go. Let's do it. Paws up. We did it!
Alrighty, Paws Up preview live from the Roar Lounge, presented to you by the FIU Alumni Association. My name is Kevin Barral, and I'm here with Jake Gibson. Jake, we're here. Homecoming week has arrived, and we are here live from the Roar Lounge, where we are expected to have around 600 people.
Around 600 people. Man, the vibes are always great here at Homecoming at FIU.
the events they do here, and of course the big game tonight between FIU and Liberty. Just a massive thanks to the FIU Alumni Association for letting us spend some time here and just talk a bit about some FIU football. I think we have a great matchup for a homecoming game. I think two of the hottest teams in Conference USA right now, the FIU Panthers and the undefeated Liberty Flames. I think it's going to be a good one, Kevin.
I mean, when you look at it statistically, these are the two best teams in Conference USA.
Yes, sir.
So I think we're not going to start there. We'll start with recapping kind of what we saw against UConn.
Yeah.
Obviously, tough game for FIU for the most part, just in that second half. They did get out with the win. They got the win. Obviously, I think we heard it in this cinematic that we were just playing right before.
Yeah.
They had a 12-hour delay. They weren't able to get out. They got in their they got into their hotel past midnight. Let's get your thoughts quickly on this game against UConn, where Kewan Jenkins had the least amount of passing yard, but still 284, I believe, is the number. Still great. 2 touchdowns, one to Jalen Bracey, one to Chris Mitchell. Highlighted by the Chris Mitchell one, where he got that 64-yard bomb. So just your overall thoughts.
You know, it's funny considering all the airline travels and problems they had. You would think they would have started off slow in the first half and then got hot in the second half. The opposite happened in this game. FIU played their best football on offense in the first half with some great passes to Bracey, to Mitchell. Keon Jenkins was accurate for the most part, and FIU at halftime just looked to cruise by UConn like they weren't much of a challenge. But then everything just started to slow down in the second half. Man, the play calling for FIU's offense got a bit stale. Those drop plays on 1st and 10 don't do much when the defense for UConn adjusts. FIU's offense did not adjust coming out of halftime, and once again, just like what we saw against Louisiana Tech and Maine, we saw it again with UConn. They did not score in the second half. They let the game get close again. Once again, the defense was in charge of saving the Panthers that day, and to their credit, FIU's defense once again did a heck of a job.
Yeah. That's, I think, the biggest part of this game, Jake. FIU's defense. If it wasn't for them, I think UConn, they kind of did run all over FIU for the most part. But you also have to admit, they stepped up, man. They stepped up, and right at the end there, they got that 4th down stop. They were able to win this game. They kept FIU in this game. They kept them with that lead.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing Coach Mack, and you probably talk to any coordinator on that team, any coach, and they'll tell you, it's new playing with a lead, with a big lead like the one they had at North Texas, the one they had with UConn, Maine as well. It's different, but they're getting used to it. And this offense still hasn't gotten used to it, where you need to score a lot of points. Yes, they scored 24 in the first half, but you needed to go out there in the second half. And UConn's not a very good team. Let's be honest here, Jay.
No.
You had to score 24 more points in that second half.
Yes. And, I would just love for us to see an FIU game where it doesn't have to come down to the defense making a big stop. They just need to get their play calling in check in the second half, because we know Kewan Jenkins has the talent, right? I think after 3 games of work, I think he's proven that. He has the arm strength, he has the numbers, and as we saw in that UConn game, he did not throw a single turnover, which is great to see. So combine that with his success with Chris Mitchell, and the running game also had some great plays here and there. Yeah, man, they just need to don't let up on offense. When you let up, the opposing team will always find new and creative ways to get back into the game, and that's what UConn did, right? And UConn is considered one of the worst teams in FBS, and they had a shot to win that game. So this is not going to be as easy a team that FIU is playing today, right? Liberty's one of the best teams in the conference, so I trust their defense, right? We have to give some praise to Donovan Manuel.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Coach Mack, in his press conference on Tuesday, he called him Pac-Man. This guy is everywhere. This guy is everywhere, and I think if you're gonna give Donovan Manuel a nickname, I think it's just start being Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
And he goes gobble gobble gobble. That's literally what Coach Mack said.
I love that. 48 tackles in 4 games of work. That's second most in FBS right now. That is probably the best statistic FIU has to show so far this season, man. He and the rest of the linebacker core limit the run game for pretty much every team. They limited the run game against La Tech. They limited it against UConn. We saw that, right? They could not run the ball for most of that game. They had to rely on the passing. The defense, I think, is way better than the offense right now.
Yeah.
At having a complete game, right? The offense still needs to work on that. We thought they had figured it out against North Texas, right? They had a great third quarter against North Texas. But once again, it regressed, and that was the most disappointing to see in that game against UConn. Granted, a win is a win. They're 3-1. It's looking good, but there's just still so many questions about that offense that I'm hoping we will see get fixed tonight. But I really don't have much worries about the defense, man. They look great. They look almost unstoppable.
Yep. So let's move on to the matchup we're going to see tonight here: Liberty versus FIU. Liberty 3-0. They just scored 55 points against Buffalo.
Yeah.
Again, it's Buffalo, but you have to just look at this team and still say this is a team that went to a bowl game last year. They're still one of the best in Conference USA. This was the big ticket team to enter this conference.
Yes.
And obviously you saw Western Kentucky here, but still, this Liberty team is by far the best in Conference USA.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. About that, I think most of the predictions for who would be in the Conference USA championship game was along the lines of Liberty versus Western Kentucky. I think that was the biggest. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And Liberty, a couple of years ago, they were nationally ranked in the top 25, right? The last time FIU played Liberty was in 2020, the first game of the season, where it was close at some point, but Liberty found a way to win the game, and that was in Lynchburg. Now they have to come here, experience that South Florida heat maybe a little bit, but yeah, I mean, granted, they're 3-0. Let's put an asterisk there, though. Who have they played up to this point? Bowling Green. Not a great team overall. Granted, Maction is Maction. But then you have New Mexico State, who is one of the projected to be one of the lower teams in Conference USA.
Middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack. And then you have Buffalo, who is absolutely in a tailspin, right? Yeah. I think if FIU were to play Buffalo, they would have also have dropped 50.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. We can only speculate. But
they played UConn, and look how many they dropped.
I will say the one thing about this Liberty team, they are one of the most balanced college football teams out there. I think they have a perfect balance of a consistent passing game, a consistent running game, and a terrific defense.
Yes, great.
They have
backs.
the whole package.
I really do like their running backs. Their tight ends are amazing. They're huge. That's something that Coach Mack really emphasized through that press conference on Tuesday. I think it's also worth mentioning. Let's go back to 2020, Jake. This was a 36-34 Liberty win.
Yes.
But at the same time, Liberty had an NFL quarterback now who is
Malik
Willis.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to compare that game with
Obviously
what we
not.
can expect today. Both teams are completely different. Of course, my FIU doesn't have Devontae Price either.
I think the only player that still stands from that team was Chris Mitchell.
Yes.
We're obviously missing other guys who've probably been there, but I think maybe Grayson James was there, I believe, during that time. I think Hayden Carlson.
Yeah, he was there. Well. I think the best takeaway from that game was the opening kickoff. Devontae Price ran it all the way to the end zone. That was probably the best play of the whole shortened 2020 season. Funny enough, but yeah, this Liberty team has been consistently good, and now that they have found themselves in the wild, wild west of conferences right now, in CUSA only 9 teams, and a bunch of them are FCS, moving into FBS. They know this is their conference to win. If they don't win the conference this year, the season is going to be a massive bust for them. And in come the FIU Panthers, looking to spoil them tonight here in homecoming. So let's start there. Yeah, let's talk a bit about Caden Salter, right?
Yeah, that's the guy, Caden Salter.
We talked about it earlier. Yeah.
CUSA Offensive Player of the Year
of the week. Yeah,
maybe of the year. Soon enough. If you find a comparison for Caden Salter,
we talked about this as
Lamar
well.
Jackson.
It's Lamar.
This guy leads. He is within the top 5 of rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's in every single statistical category. If he's not the first, he's the second. And if he's not second, he's right there with quarterback Kewan Jenkins, who has played the same amount of games. Although their FIU did go through week 0.
They did.
Keep in mind, Kewan still only started 3 games this season for FIU.
Yeah, man.
And this team has relied on Caden Salter from day one, and that could bite him back. If this FIU defense puts just enough pressure on someone like Caden Salter, FIU's defense is going to have themselves a day.
Yeah, funny enough, stat-wise, when it comes to passing, Kewan and Caden kind of match up pretty well. Similar in passing yards, similar in touchdowns.
Even rushing yards, I believe.
Caden has thrown less picks, however, and I think he's been sacked less than Kewan as well. But yeah, man, this is going to be the ultimate test for how far this FIU defense has come, because they have looked great so far in 4 games of work. But
not even for the FIU defense, just FIU in general.
Right.
You're off to a 3-1 start. Yes, you beat UNT, but UNT's been, let's be honest, they've been pretty bad. They have a little quarterback mess up for now.
Yeah.
Then you go against UConn, who honestly they're really bad. They're not good at all.
They're not.
And then you go up against Maine, who's an FCS team. Which honestly, and I think everyone can tell you this, they maybe should have lost. And then La
Tech, I think, is a good team, but once again, you only put up 4 passing yards against La Tech. You kind of deserve to lose at that point, if I'm being totally honest. But yeah, Liberty is a couple of tiers higher than any team that FIU has played so far. But in my humble opinion, I think FIU is a couple tiers above any team that Liberty has played so far this season, especially when it comes to the defense. I don't think Liberty has played a defense as solid and as consistent as FIU
And you can make the case that these two teams kind of match up fairly well.
They do. And it'll be interesting. I of course, had the opportunity to talk with the Fan the Flames podcast a few days ago for Liberty. They said to themselves, this is a trap game, right? Everyone thinks that Liberty's just going to come in here and dominate. That's why they're favored, I believe, by 10 and a hook, if I'm not mistaken. This is a trap game for them. FIU is hungry, right? They realize they haven't been this good in a very long time. This is the best start to a season since, 2018, maybe even before that? 2017, man. FIU has absolute talent on both sides of the ball, offensively and especially defensively.
And I think it's worth mentioning here, Jake, if FIU does somehow upset, and we'll say it, they upset Liberty, because Liberty is projected to be the best team in Conference USA. When you saw preseason projections, Liberty was the best team, I believe, right with Western Kentucky just under them. If FIU is able to upset Liberty, they will be off to the best start in program history on the homecoming week. And I think, and before we even keep talking about that, let's rewind to last year's homecoming.
Yeah.
UConn versus FIU. The crowd wasn't too good, just really bad. Right? You could even say that right after the second quarter, you can make the case that at halftime, this game was already over.
It was over. The fans were gone. There was not much of a mood. Now, when it comes to off the field stuff like that, you have to give credit to Scott Carr and FIU
just
athletics.
for a reference, he will be on this.
He will be on later. Scott Carr will be on later. That'll be super fun. But yeah, man, when it comes to actually getting butts in seats here, they've done a great job with that. Of course, you've brought back tailgating at Tamiami Park, which is such a genius idea, and it makes so much sense. Not to mention all the other free parking options all around campus on game day. And then not to mention, as we came in here to the Roar Lounge, we, of course, stopped by Tamiami Hall, took a look around. You have all the Greek life there. You're going to have the Panther walk in a few minutes as well, so the students and alumni can greet the fans, can greet the coaches as they come in. The vibes here are immaculate, and just looking around, there's a lot of FIU fans here, more than we've seen in a while. I think the turnout when it comes to the student section and even the alumni has been good so far. But Scott Carr and even President Kenneth Jessel said on the show, there's a lot of alumni in this city. I think over 350,000, if I'm not mistaken. How do they get them in here? I think they're doing a good job. And I said it to the Fan the Flames team, the only way at this point that they can continue to get more fans here, it's by winning consistently, and winning tonight. It's going to put FIU on national spotlight.
And winning consistently also gives better ideas. And obviously, this is where we go into the shout-out with Hunter DuBois, and then you have Dan Forcella, who've done an amazing job running this. Obviously, they're a big reason why we see the jerseys they have today.
Yes, the Biscayne Blues.
The Biscayne Blues are going with the Biscayne tops, and they're going with the navy bottoms. I do want to ask you, what you think of those? When I was told what they were going to go with, I was like, ugh, that's a little weird. But when you look at it on camera, obviously we'll look at it in person in maybe an hour or two, it looks nice.
It does look nice. I was not expecting them to wear the Biscayne Blues, by the way. They said wear navy. So like, all right, maybe they're going to just go an all navy look. That's not bad. But you know what? If the Biscayne Blues give them powers to win these games, you know what? By all means,
they would be 2-0.
They would be 2-0.
Well, we could say one. They could be 1-1.5-0.
1.5 because they don't have the full drip, right? They have the Biscayne Blue jerseys, but not the pants and the helmet, which are obviously navy. So yeah, but as you mentioned, Hunter and Dan, that's another way that they've been sort of getting interest here. These new uniforms, the Biscayne Blues took off on social media, and those Vice jerseys down the line, they're going to take off. As a matter of fact, we saw a couple days ago, you can now buy them online from the FIU, I believe the FIU bookstore Fanatics. You can actually buy yourself an FIU Vice jersey, which is really cool. I hope we even see a couple of them today. That'd be pretty sweet as well. So the fan interest, I think, has been it's not at an all-time high, but for the past few years, there is interest because, all the stuff is cool, but they're winning. They have a 3-1 record. That's really great. But this ain't going to be an easy test today, right?
Yeah,
the Liberty
got
Flames.
Liberty. Obviously, we mentioned Caden Salter.
Yeah, Caden Salter.
Any other names that are even worth mentioning? We could be here, Jay, talking for a very long time. Obviously, you have CJ Daniels, their leading receiver right now.
Yeah.
They haven't used him very much.
They have not.
Because, obviously, Caden Salter, this man's running left and right. This guy's just doing whatever he can to help this team win.
Caden Salter, if you get to Caden Salter, the rest of the offense is going to suffer, right? If Caden doesn't have time in the pocket to not only pass but move around as well, then no one on the Liberty's offense can figure out what to do. Because
that's where Pac-Man comes in.
That's where Pac-Man comes in. And Liberty has not had that moment of adversity yet this season where, oh man, we really have to adjust on offense and figure out what we have to do to keep Caden safe. He's been safe, and he hasn't thrown that many picks either, man. But yeah, C.J. Daniels, he had a couple of great highlights against Buffalo. Granted, the whole team, I mean, you and I could have gotten a touchdown on Buffalo's defense. That's how good Liberty's offense looked that game, right? But now on defense, I really wanted to talk about Liberty's defense. 9 interceptions
Again,
in 3 games of
Buffalo.
work. Okay, yeah, Buffalo. But still, 9 interceptions. That is insane. Now, granted, I'm not as scared as I would have been, say, a week ago because Keywan Jenkins in that North Texas game, of course, threw a couple of unfortunate interceptions. But he clearly worked on that and didn't throw any against UConn. But, yeah, man, if FIU cannot turn the ball over on offense because, yeah, Liberty's got a scary secondary. There's no doubt about it. Their secondary is frightening. But granted, I think so is ours. So, man, this Liberty team is stacked. I'm trying to think of an area of Liberty that I think is the most able to be exposed by this FIU team, and it's tough.
It's tough because this is such a complete team. And let's quickly mention kind of what we're doing here at the Roar Lounge, what the Roar Lounge is a little bit about. Obviously, the comment from our boy Gus, who set this up. We want to thank Lemon City Live for the opportunity for setting this up. Obviously, we're here today because of them, Gus, Edwin, all the boys at Lemon City. So
yeah, man. Shout out to our friends at Lemon City, man. They've been so helpful to us, and Gus and Edwin put in the work to get us this spot here at the Roar Lounge here at the FI Alumni Association. There are a bunch of booths here, by the way, giving out stuff. You have cups, you have koozies, you have, of course, some really good food.
And some cool merch we saw.
Some cool merch. We may have partaked in some food before we started here, Kevin. Those burgers and hot dogs definitely hit the spot.
And it's just for, you could say a cheap price for the high price of $20. $20 for all the food you want, all the drinks you want.
Yeah, and a bunch of swag.
And
you get to listen to us. That's a pretty good investment, if I do say so.
Yeah, so if you're here right now, if you're here at the Roar Lounge and you're watching, stop by all the way at the end, inside, air conditioned. You guys could just stop by and come over here and chill with us.
Yeah, man.
Talk to FIU.
And shout out as well to the FIU Sports Facebook group, who has done a great job of sort of blowing up anything we post. And shout out to that decal by the one and only Danny Moss, who just produces so much talented stuff. His custom helmets and his decals, which you can buy, by the way, are just absolutely insane. Again, shout out for that. We'll definitely find some cool places to use that when we do our upcoming previews and episodes and whatnot. But yeah, man.
Should we take a look around Conference USA?
Before we do that,
actually, a look around FIU is, I think, the right word to say.
Good point. A look around FIU athletics. So let's get right into it here.
I'll let you take over, and I'm going to...
Thank you, sir. Let's start off with FIU men's soccer, right? They have a 3-2-2 record. They are currently 1-0 in conference play. They have a winning streak of 1 after their 5-1 win against the Temple Owls last Saturday by a final score of 5-1. That was cool. That was great. Now they have to go on the road to take on the University of Memphis. That is another AAC opponent. That is tonight at 8 p.m. So I know I already know Johnny's going to have a busy night tonight.
Yeah.
Cycling between football and men's soccer. But thankfully it's on the road, the soccer game. That's in Memphis.
Worth mentioning for what I don't know if you already mentioned women's soccer yet?
I did not yet.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yes. Men's soccer's next upcoming home game is going to be Friday, September 29th at 7 p.m. when they host the South Florida Bulls, who have received top 25 votes. That's going to be at 7 o'clock on that day. Now let's move on to women's soccer. 7-2-1. I believe this is the best start in program history.
Yeah.
My goodness, 2-0 in the conference. They are 4-1-1 at home, 2-1 on the road. They are coming off a 2-game winning streak against both UTEP and Sam Houston, Conference USA opponents. And on tomorrow, Sunday, September 24th at 6 p.m., they're hosting none other than the FAU Owls. They already beat the Miami Hurricanes,
the Boca Bowl,
earlier this season. If they can beat their other rivals in Dade County, or Broward County, I should say.
Yeah, you can say that.
6 p.m. Sunday, September 24th tomorrow, FIU versus FAU. They'll then head on the road to take on Western Kentucky. Now, moving on a bit to volleyball, which is in the midst of their season, 6-9 record so far. They're coming off a sweep against the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs this past Friday, as well as earlier today. They will head to Huntsville, Texas, and take on the Sam Houston State Bearcats, brand new Conference USA school. That'll be on Friday, September 29th, and then Saturday, September 30th at 7 and 2 p.m. respectfully.
Yep.
All right, Kevin, let's get into some
Predictions?
Some predictions in the World Conference USA, and oh yes, we made a graphic. Look at
We
that,
made
Kevin.
a graphic, folks. Conference
Look
USA.
at this.
All Conference USA stuff. Obviously, we have Western Kentucky versus, I believe that's Troy.
The Troy Trojans.
Colorado State University.
Yeah.
Make sure you take off any glasses, any
Guys,
hats,
any sunglasses?
because you never know. But they're facing Middle Tennessee. You have
Yeah.
UNLV versus UTEP. La Tech versus Nebraska. You have Sam Houston State versus Houston. You have New Mexico State versus Hawaii. That should be a good game.
Yeah.
You have Eastern Maryland, I want to say.
That's Eastern Michigan taking
Eastern
on
Michigan
Jacksonville
versus
State.
Jacksonville State. And
Yeah.
finally, the one we'll predict all the way at the end of the show.
Liberty and FIU.
Liberty and FIU. We can
So-
already tell you Scott's
so
card
Kevin-
prediction. We can tell you Scott's card prediction.
Oh yeah, well, you know
FIU's going to blow
his
him
score
out.
prediction. I think is going to be a bit more interesting. But
That's
we know what he's
true.
taking.
He's not going to give you a score prediction.
So
though.
Kevin, I know that the Western Kentucky and Louisiana Tech games are already playing. Have you seen the scores yet? You haven't. So okay, good. Neither have I. And
Let's
we
predict those
purposely
first.
did that. We purposely did that so we can come into this one. Western Kentucky taking on the Troy Trojans, who, by the way, are having an outstanding season so far. But so is Western Kentucky. This is going to be a dogfight, but I think I'm going to go with the Troy Trojans on this one.
Taking Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Western Kentucky, the Road Warriors of Conference USA. I like that.
They're really good, man.
Yeah, and then moving on to Louisiana Tech versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Nebraska's such a weird team. I think they're really talented, but their ability to lose these one-score games as much as they have is very strange. But I will take the Cornhuskers here.
Give me Hank Bachmeyer and their wide receiver, not Smoke Harris.
Harris.
And the La Tech Bulldog.
Man, they really left an impression on you on that FIU game to begin
They're
the
really
season.
good, man.
Yeah. All right, now let's move on to this game that just kicked off. We have not seen the score. Eastern Michigan against Jacksonville State. Eastern Michigan's kind of a mixed bag. We've sort of seen Jacksonville State. They have been very competitive. You know what? I'll go with Conference USA. I picked against CUSA up to this point. Give me Jacksonville State.
Give me Jacksonville State. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's go with their Conference USA boys.
Yes.
Let's go with them, or friends, rather say.
Friends. Except for when we have to play them, right? And okay, so Colorado State, they were so close to beating
They were
primetime.
really good against primetime. Huh?
They looked great. What was it? Double overtime.
Double overtime, yeah.
Now
and the thing is, they kind of choked. They were up by like 2 scores.
So now they have to play Middle Tennessee, and again, taking off my glasses, I don't want to upset any Rams fans here. And you know what? I'll take your team. I will take Colorado State over Middle Tennessee.
I will take Colorado State as well.
All right. Now
All right,
moving
you can
on.
put it back on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sam Houston State versus Houston. It's the Battle of Houston, Texas, even though Houston doesn't technically play in Houston, whatever, blah, blah, blah. This should be a fun game. I think Houston is a consistently good program, and Sam Houston State is still getting their legs wet in the FBS level. I will take the Houston Cougars in this matchup.
Give me the Houston Cougars.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So far, so good.
Although I will say, Sam Houston State's been a fairly good team for the most part.
They have been a pretty good team for the
I
most
believe
part.
they
Yeah.
have the best defense in Conference USA right now, just statistically.
Yeah, statistically. I think you're right. So, again, we'll skip the Liberty game for now. Now let's move on to UNLV. That's Las Vegas, taking on the UTEP Miners. UTEP has not looked great this season so
It's been
far.
really bad, yeah.
UNLV hasn't looked great either. I don't want to say this is the battle of mid, but you know what?
I think it's the first one.
Give me UTEP. Give me, you know what? Just for fun, let's go with the Miners on this one. I'm taking UTEP.
Let's take the Miners.
Yes,
I
sir.
really don't know what way to go with this one.
I don't know. And the final game before we get to the big one, New Mexico State versus Hawaii.
That's a good game.
I think it actually is going to be a good game. It's a
Give me
late-
Hawaii.
Hawaii. It's a late game too. It's 11 o'clock, man.
I may watch that after this FIU game.
What? Dang.
It's a good game, man. Diego Pavia versus Hawaii. Hawaii's undefeated, I
give me
believe.
Hawaii. You know, I've always heard the stories of how badly the jet lag affects players who have to travel all the way to Hawaii, especially in Mexico State. It's a long plane ride to
Imagine
Hawaii,
if FIU ever had to face Hawaii in Hawaii.
That would be tough. But yeah, give me the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors to
All right.
take on New Mexico State.
How about we did this last week? Why don't we do some NFL predictions?
NFL
Obviously, not
predictions.
just to fill time, because we're waiting for Mr. Scott Carr here.
Yes, sir.
But we have to get his prediction live.
We do have to get his prediction live. Well, maybe we'll even ask him about all the other predictions as well later. So before we do that, and
He won't give you those.
let me put the graphic up as well as I do a bit of research here and to see how we did last week. Right?
Go for it.
We Johnny sent us his predictions right last week.
Yes, he
And
did. He hasn't sent them yet this week.
No, I think we have to bug Johnny about that. However, one thing that we noticed is that all of us picked the exact same teams, right? Which is weird. We usually have at least a couple of different teams that we play.
I think that's how it works for the NFL as well.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into how it all looked last week. So the scores, and we usually do this first. We're changing it up a little bit. Liberty, of course, dog walked Buffalo, 55-27. We were forced to watch that game because this FIU game started later in that day. FIU beat UConn. That was great. Ohio State put up 63 points on Western Kentucky.
Oh my God! How many did Western score?
10. Yeah. North Texas put up. That was a thriller, by the way. North Texas, Louisiana Tech, 40-37. That was a great game. Middle Tennessee beat Murray State 35-14. New Mexico State beat New Mexico. The Battle of New Mexico was won by the Aggies, 27-17. And finally, Arizona defeated UTEP by a score of 31-10. So, looking at how we all picked Liberty. We got that right. We all picked FIU. We got that right. We all picked Ohio State. Thank God.
Thank God.
We got that right. We all picked Middle Tennessee. We got that right. We all picked Louisiana Tech, and that is our first L of our picks last week. North Texas. That was an amazing game, but yeah, we were all.
It was a great game.
It was great. We were all on Middle Tennessee. We all picked New Mexico State. We got that. Finally, we all picked Arizona. So we went 6-1. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself, Kevin.
Yeah, not bad. That may have been our best record thus far.
Yeah, I'd say thus far. Yeah, I mean, granted, Johnny a couple weeks ago was one tough pick away from going undefeated. That was the one where we sort of struggled. And Johnny, I don't know what was up with Johnny that week, but he popped off. So what the heck? While we wait around, let's do some NFL predictions. Why the heck not? So, on Thursday night, San Francisco beat the New York Giants. I don't think anyone's too surprised at that. So let's move on now to Indianapolis at Baltimore.
Give me the Ravens. They don't even have Baltimore. The Colts don't have Anthony Richardson, or they may have even had a chance.
Maybe.
Give me the Ravens.
Ravens need to figure out what they're doing. The Ravens, I'm not sold on them yet, right? They've been a weird team so far. But
just really quickly, before you continue, and we go to the Dolphins, they just ruled out Jalen Waddle for this week. So.
Saw that. That's a bit unfortunate, but we'll talk a bit more about that in a sec. Now, Tennessee at Cleveland.
Tennessee's been pretty good.
Tennessee's been good. Cleveland's been okay.
They lost.
They did lose Chubb for the rest of the year. That was a gruesome injury, man.
Give me the Titans.
Taking the Titans, huh? Yeah, why not? Let's go with Tennessee. I like that enthusiasm for Tannehill and King.
I'm not the biggest Browns, lover, so.
Neither am I. The 2-0 Atlanta Falcons.
Wow.
Facing off at Ford Field against the Detroit Lions.
Detroit, I believe they were very close to winning against Seattle last week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Detroit, but man, the Falcons do look pretty scary.
They do look scary. But I think that 2-0 record is still kind of fluff, right?
Yeah.
And I think Detroit's a better team than 1-1, right? Give me the Lions. They'll bounce back, right? The New Orleans Saints also 2-0 for some reason at the Green Bay Packers. Will Jordan Love continue his amazing season?
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I'm going with the Packers.
I am going with the Packers as well. There are a few 2-0 teams, but I think Atlanta is the most fraudulent of the group, in my humble opinion. Moving on, Houston, who is 0-2 at Jacksonville. I think the Jags are pissed that they lost that game to Kansas City, right? They're going to play mad. They're going up against Houston. Houston is Houston. I'm taking the Jags.
Give me the upset.
What?
I am going with the Houston Texans.
There-
You remember I did this last year where they were like, do you not remember last year when they were like, they did not have a single win, and I took them to beat the Ravens, and they did.
I do remember that.
So we're doing that this week. They'll get their
Okay.
first win.
All right, Denver at Miami. As you mentioned, Waddle is out, though I do think Phillips and Armstead are actually expected to play, which is good. And
I think we'll make this very easy.
Dolphins.
Fins up, baby.
Fins up, baby. Yeah, I think I don't even know what the line is. I think Miami covers
Miami
that.
wins. Continue.
Yeah. Chargers, the Chargers. The 0-2 Chargers at the 2-0 Vikings. Or, I'm sorry, 0-2 Vikings. They haven't won a game. Chargers and Vikings have not won a game.
One team's going to go
Some
way.
team is forced to win tonight.
Yeah, and not even that. Just one team's forced to really find themselves almost out of the playoff race.
I did see that the Vikings actually traded for Cam Akers a few days ago. So now they could have a running game.
I'm going to take the Vikings, man. I told you this when we first predicted the Chargers-Dolphins game. Not a big Chargers guy, not a big believer in them. Don't think they're really that good.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Vikings.
Would you say they're the most overrated team in the NFL, the Chargers?
Yes.
Yes? I'll go with Minnesota as well, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers find a way to win that game. Now, Patriots at Jets. Did you know, I believe it was the Patriots have won the last 14 games against New York. That is
kind of
wild.
feels like the battle of mid.
Oh, yeah, the battle of mid. And I'm happy to say that, too, because it's the Patriots
And the Jets.
So
Give me
the Jets cannot win with Zach Wilson.
Give me the Pats.
Yeah.
Give me the Pats.
I don't like Mac Jones either.
Yeah.
But I think he's better than Wilson. I'll go with New England on this one. Now, Buffalo at Washington. Washington is undefeated. And Washington has a great track record of upsetting teams, right? I'm going to do it, Kevin. I'm taking the Commanders to beat the Bills. They're at home. They're 2-0. Give me Washington.
Give me Washington.
Yes.
I hate the Bills.
Yes.
I hate the Bills.
Yeah. Oh, who doesn't?
This one's a quick one. I'm taking Seattle against
Yeah.
Carolina,
Panthers
especially
and-
with Bryce Young out.
Yeah. Give me the Hawks.
Who's even the starter?
A lot of these rookie
Who's
quarterbacks.
the starter this week? Oh, Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton, yeah. A lot of injured rookie quarterbacks, which is not a
Right?
great look.
Yeah.
But in any event, yeah, I'll take the Seahawks. Now, Dallas at Arizona.
Dallas.
I still think Dallas.
And Micah Parsons is going to get a touchdown as a tight end. I did not see that report that they were giving him offensive reps.
That'd be fun. That'd be very funny. I still think Dallas is a very overrated squad.
So really good.
In my humble opinion.
So really good.
Yeah, they're going to walk over Arizona. Now, the Bears. The Bears just, oh my God, the Bears. On and off the field issues.
Let's make this quick.
They're an Arrowhead. Give me the Chiefs. I mean, come on, man. And now Sunday Night Football, the Steelers at the Raiders.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. Could be a
I'm
good
going to
game.
take the Raiders. I like, obviously, Devontae Adams. I believe George Pickens is out, so give me the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders. I
can't complain.
Not a big fan of either team, to be honest, but not because I don't like them, because I just don't like their rosters. But yeah, give me the Raiders. And then 2 games on Monday night. First off, the 2-0 Eagles at the 2-0 Buccaneers.
Give me the upset. Give me the Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers.
At home with Baker Mayfield's going to beat Philly. Gee whiz. You know it's not going to be long now until Miami has to play Philadelphia on Sunday night. I think that's in a few weeks, yeah. I'll take the Eagles. I think they'll I don't know. I still think the Eagles are
I'll
a
make
great
the
squad.
next one very quick for you. I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams. Joe Burrow's out on Monday night.
This is a Super Bowl rematch as well, right?
Yeah, that too. I think Cincinnati's going to be
Joe
done.
Burrow is out?
He is out.
He is out. Okay.
Aggravated calf injury.
Right. Yeah, I'll take the Rams. I want to like the Rams, but yeah.
Is that it?
The Bengals are going to be 0-3. That's insane. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? All right.
So should we take a quick break and we'll come back?
Yeah, why not? Let's take a quick break here as
we'll play a quick
as
commercial.
Coach Mike McIntyre gets you fired up, get you ready for this game.
Hey, Panthers, homecoming is right around the corner, and we need your help rattling the cage. Homecoming is September 23rd. Now let's hear the fight song. Come on, alumni, show us what you got.
All right. So, thank you for that. Thank you for holding out. Again, this is the Paws Up preview presented by the FIU Alumni Association. We're just about wrapping up here. Scott Carr should be here in a few minutes. We're getting ready for him. So, before we potentially make him mad with who we think is going to win, let's do it
ourselves here before.
Let's do it. It's time for predictions. Who wins at the cage, FIU or Liberty? Kevin, you will start us off. Who are you taking, and what's your score prediction?
I'm going to take Liberty. I know we're here at the Royal Lounge. We're having a great time, but man, Caden Salter is just so good. And if he's clicking, the rest of his targets are clicking, Jake. CJ Daniels, I believe. The running back core, their tight ends are so good. Give me Liberty. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I'm going to take Liberty wins 42-38. I think it's going to be a really high-scoring game here.
If you think the Panthers are going to put 38 points, that almost feels like a moral victory like that. You put up 38 against Liberty, I can't.
And it shows that they can put up with this team, too.
They can. So, Liberty's kind of rubbing me the wrong way, right? Have you ever seen Liberty's social media and what they do after they win games and stuff? It's very weird.
Even leading up to games.
Even leading up to games, too. They put out some jank stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is a trap game for Liberty. FIU is hungry. FIU's offense, if they can fix their second half woes and have a consistent offense and their defense stays how it is, I'm taking the Panthers. I am taking the FIU Panthers. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring, right? I think it's going to be defined by the offense reacting to the defense most of the game. These kind of start off low scoring, and then the second half, both teams are going to start to pick it up, right? So I'm going to go FIU 28, Liberty 26.
Hey,
it's going to be a nail biter. If it goes to overtime, I wouldn't even be shocked either. But yeah, man. Kevin, how about it? It's been a fantastic time, eh?
It's been a great time here at the Royal Lounge. Right now, we're just waiting for Scott Carr, really, to wrap this up. Once he joins, we will be wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we know who. I think we know who Scott's going to take.
We know who Scott's going to take, right? And again, I think we want to know what his score prediction is going to be. That's what's going to be interesting. And of course, it'll be nice to talk to him about his work at the Alumni Association, getting students here. It's been a fun scene, man. The food's been great. We can both agree to that. The hype here has been real, and we're hoping for a great game. But yeah, man, we're going to take another intermission.
Take a 5-minute break around there.
Yeah,
and we will be back to hear from Scott Carr.
Yeah. So see y'all later.
Today, right here, right now, a true opportunity for the Panthers to win their third straight game. A near 12-hour travel day, weather and mechanical issues, FIU arriving at the hotel after midnight last night.
Hey, legendary on 3, legendary on 3, 1, 2, 3.
There are no excuses for McIntyre's squad. The focus is on UConn, a chance to get them back from last year, a 33-12 loss, a chance for redemption here today on the road. It's FIU and UConn.
Old school football today, right? You're going to have chances to make plays. Be disciplined with your eyes.
Hey, your mom, right? Hey, your mom, right? We got to go take it, baby.
We's greater than me. We've been preaching it. We've been preaching it. Okay, you're living it. You're doing it. Okay, the future's now. This is a come together game. Y'all got me?
If you are what you say you are, a superstar.
Jenkins with the snap. Kyle pushing right at that line. Is it enough to get in the end zone? Panthers saying it is.
Second effort. Touchdown. Kewan Jenkins would not be denied. What a statement on the first drive of the game. Panthers 6-0.
Comes up, makes a big play. Looking for 6 for 6. Time. Sets up. Big ball. Brought in. Big catch. It's a pickup of 48 yards. Short field goal here for Gabriel. Beginning the second quarter. And he's got it. And the Panthers have 3 more points.
The world brought me to my knees with it.
Big hit. Dropped by Manuel. Right away. Another big loss.
When your name in on the guest list, who brung you? You, the more famous person you come through. And the
conversion. Jenkins thinking about running it. Then he's going to throw it. Hollow, perfect delivery. It's a touchdown for Jalen Bracey at FIU. Gunslinger on the money to Bracey. First down. Clock ticks. First half. Jenkins, deep ball. There's Mitchell. Who's got it? Chris Mitchell. Touchdown FIU. What a throw, what a grab. Panthers score again. Comes some pressure. Down he goes. Jeremy Passmore.
And you better
More intensity. Attack, 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 attack. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Somebody light me up.
magnified times 5. This is pointed at the rhyme of ricochets off the moon and set the forest ablaze. Now that's important to say, cause even with all that, most of us don't want it to fade. We want it to bring.
Jalen Gracie from about the 8. The return FIU breaks a tackle. Gracie, nice run back. Jenkins incomplete on 8 of 9 passes. Third down, big play. The freshman is flushed, throws on the move, delivers a perfect pass for Gracie. Play fake, Roberson keeps. Christian says no. CJ Christian read it and puts him down.
24-17, 2:41 to play. Buckle up. UConn starts at the 48 of FIU.
Buckman, the catch. They're running the clock. Daniel has the tackle, but it's not enough for the first down to get to the 11. Huskies have got to have it here.
Oh, they come with the blitz.
Here comes some pressure. Roberson delivers. Perfect pass. Ross has got it. Where's the spot? He didn't get there. It's short. FIU holds. And the Panthers are going to win.
3 in a row. Come on, man. You know how we do it.
Wise man once said the future is now. That's what he said.
Stay on top of that mountain. Paws up.
Why would you not want to be at FIU? Let's go. Hey, man, I told y'all how we were stepping. We came from UConn to take over. Now what we did, baby. First victory on the road. Plenty more to go. Let's do it. Paws up. We did it!
Hey Panthers, homecoming is right around the corner, and we need your help rattling the cage. Homecoming is September 23rd. Now let's hear the fight song. Come on, alumni, show us what you got.
Hey everybody, we are still waiting here for Scott Carr, and Panther Walk is going on right now. That's the cool celebration at Tamiami Hall where all the students welcome in the players and coaches, and I know Scott Carr will be here very soon. So we will continue with the advert until he gets here. It should be real soon, everybody.
Today, right here, right now, a true opportunity for the.
All righty then, everybody. That's the man himself. How are you doing, Scott?
Great, fellas. How are y'all?
Please accept this middle seat here.
Absolutely. Oh, the big mic.
The big mic, the Blue Yeti. Yes,
Excellent.
sir.
Excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, none other than the AD himself, Scott Carr. Scott, thank you so much for spending some time with us here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having the show.
So tell us, man, you were at the Panther Walk. You saw the players and coaches and students coming by, and now you've, of course, made your way to the Roar Lounge. What has the atmosphere been like so far today?
The atmosphere is amazing. It's electric out there. It's the best crowd. This will be my 9th home game here.
Yeah.
Best crowd by far that we've had. We got RVs parking out there. We've got all kinds of tailgaters out in our lots all over the place. It was hard to even get the team to Panther Walk. There were so many students over there, which is awesome. That's what we want. That's one of those good problems to have. If you have so many people out there that you got to walk single file, that's what you want. So we're really excited, and we know that energy will translate into the stadium tonight.
Yeah, and talk about the addition, by the way, of bringing back the Biscayne blue uniforms for round number 2. We thought that it'd be the all navy look, because of course everyone's wearing navy today, but nope, they brought back those magical blue unis.
Yeah, and really what that is, it's as simple as this. It's player's choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Coach Mack does is he works with some of his captains and some of the player council folks and just says, let's figure out what we're going to wear for each game. And they love those Biscayne blues and wanted to match it with the Navy pants and Navy helmets, and I think it's going to look great.
Just talk to us a little bit about what's going on in Tamiami Hall. What I guess the fans could watch over there could see.
You're talking about
Tamiami Hall, to celebrate what they're doing over there?
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. Again, it's the largest tailgate crowd that I've seen in 9 games here. As I was talking to some folks, I said we're going to laugh about this crowd in a few years about how small this crowd was, right? Because there's going to be so many people that'll be around here. But for right now, it's just a ton of energy, ton of tents. Again, as I mentioned, RV over there. Folks RVing over there, and that's what we want to see, right? That's college football. College football is the night before a football game, RVs start showing up, right? I mean, that's getting that atmosphere going 24 to 36 hours before the game even starts. So, really excited about it. This is awesome being here at Roar Lounge, being with you guys. But when I get done here, I'm going to head out and check in with some of those tailgaters and thank them for coming and just coming back. Homecoming is always a big deal here, but this is great. This is next level.
I think it was expect number 600 people in this Roar Lounge tonight. How does that sound?
It's great. I actually got a phone call last night because Roar Lounge was technically sold out. Like the online tickets were sold out. And we were having to let people know last night, no, just come and we'll sell more tickets to you when you come here, right? And so that's what you want, right? Is my two of my favorite words in my business life. Okay, let me be clear there, right? There's other ones I have in my private life with my wife and daughters, but in my business life, my 2 favorite words are sold out. Those are my 2 favorite words, sold out, right? I guess one again is our 2 good ones too, right? But love sold out, and so it was great to have the Roar Lounge. As many people wanted to come here as they did, and again, I think we're going to have a great crowd in there tonight. I think it'll be by far the biggest crowd in the 9 games that I've been here.
Then there's sold out, and then there's lights out. Kewan Jenkins obviously takes over here in the second game of the season. What have you seen from him?
Just unbelievable leadership, poise. His confidence, not cockiness, but confidence. Just a positive vibe for everybody on the team, including the coaches, including me, right? I mean, he just brings this positive energy, this confident energy where, I'll give you a great example. When we played at home against North Texas and they went up on us. I wasn't worried about it at all. I said, okay, well, we're just going to go down and score a touchdown and we'll win the game. And that's exactly what happened, right? I mean, like there was no nervousness of, man, we just lost the lead. It was just, no, lights out's going to lead us down the field. And, we've got, offensive lines playing well, running backs are playing well, wide receivers, tight ends, everybody. I said, we'll just go score a touchdown. And that's what happened. So it's phenomenal. And then the other piece with Kewan as well, of course, is being local. Yes. I mean, he's bringing a crowd, right? I mean, he's, driving in, I saw a bunch of folks with Jenkins t-shirts on, right? They're out there tailgating and, and that's the Kewan effect, right? So we're excited to have him leading the offense right now.
The Kewan effect is absolutely.
Lights out! Lights out!
So let's talk a bit more about the FIU defense, which I think has been absolutely spectacular. Even sometimes even more than the offense, man. Just talk to us about what FIU's defense has done, securing these wins against these teams like Maine and UConn.
Absolutely, defense is playing incredible, right? I mean, they're playing lights out, right? To keep on that same theme. Been very pleased with them. I mean, and I think a big reason for that is our depth, right? I mean, it's depth, and then it's just from last year to this year, you can see how defensive linemen added 20 to 30 pounds of good weight, right? Nutrition and strength and conditioning, and we're rotating. I mean, you guys track it probably better than I do. We're rotating 3 deep, maybe 4 deep on our D line, right? And and then obviously having some of those senior leaders like Donovan Manuel and Alex Nobles, right, that are playing the positions they are and playing as well as they're playing and bringing that senior leadership. And then I've just been really pleased with our safeties and our corners. In the way they're playing. I know we play a lot of man-to-man and the safeties are coming up a lot to help with the run. And anyway, I've been very pleased with how our defense is playing. To your point, they've been keeping folks off the board.
So let's talk a bit more about the state of FIU football right now, because it's crazy. 4-8 last year. Coach McIntyre is only 1 win away from matching his wins from last year. We're only 4-5 games in. So just talk about the 3-1 record. Has it exceeded your expectations? Has it been sort of in line with what you thought the season was going to be? Just what's your thought on that?
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously, being 3-1 and really should be 4-0, right? Yeah. I mean, just if that had been a 59-minute game, we'd have won, right? But it's one of those where I think we've made even more progress than I was anticipating for year two. Obviously, I had all the faith and belief in the world in Coach McIntyre and his plan to turn our program around that we talked a lot about when we were interviewing him. So I knew he had a great plan to get us to a really good spot. I'll just be honest with you. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, right? And that being said, there's still a lot of games to be played, right? We still have 8 more games left, right? So it's great to start out 3-1, but again, we have to, show up every week and keep playing hard. We got a really talented opponent in Liberty that we're playing tonight. But I would say just the culture, the young men that we have in our program, the way that we're playing, I think it'd be hard for me to say that we're not ahead of what the mental clock that I had for us.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about this Liberty squad. Definitely an interesting opponent for homecoming. Usually it's against a non-conference team, somebody that FIU can whoop on. But no. Liberty is the top of the line Conference USA squad. What are your thoughts on their 3-0 season so far?
Well, Liberty's very talented, starting in the quarterback position.
Right.
They have an incredible quarterback. Again, a lot of great tools around him. But they're a great program. They've got a lot of resources at Liberty, right? People talk about winning. You can typically take winning and then go look at a budget. And the more you're winning, the larger your budget is. I know sometimes people like to criticize on social media and say, go win a game. And you sort of say, well, how much have you donated to help us win a game?
Panther Club, by the way.
Panther Club, by the way. And usually it's $0, right? The loudest folks are the ones that give the least, right? But Liberty has a ton of resources. They got great facilities. They've got a great coaching staff. They're able to put a lot of support behind their football program. So they do a great job there. And like you said, with homecoming, it's going to be unique for us over the next few years because in the month of October, we play all those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games, right? And so when you look at the schedule, you go, do you want to have homecoming on September 28th? Well, maybe not, but do you want to have homecoming midweek? No, homecoming needs to be Saturday. So then the only Saturday home game we have in November is Saturday right after Thanksgiving. So when you look at the schedule, you go, well, we're going to do homecoming September 23rd, right? And I think the timing's perfect because we're playing well. We're 3-1 coming into homecoming. I think everybody's excited. I think that's really helping with this huge crowd. So like you said, the days of your weakest opponent being homecoming opponent, those are pretty much over, I think. And now it's your homecoming opponent is the one that's going to work best for your fan base. That's how you're selecting it now.
Obviously, you mentioned 3-1, best start since 2017, with the chance today to have the best start in program history at 4-1. Just how much does winning help for what you guys do? Obviously, when it comes to marketing and everything else around this, obviously we see what you guys are doing today out here.
Yeah, absolutely. So all winning does is make water taste better. It makes the food taste better. It makes sleeping better. It makes everything better, right? That's all winning does, right? Is makes everything better, right? So it's great. What it does, I mean, I had people telling me yesterday, Scott, there's a buzz on campus that we haven't seen in a long time, seen and heard in a long time. There's just people talking about the football program and homecoming and being at the game tomorrow and all those types of things. And, and then of course, as you guys know, you guys are on social media. There's just more people talking about our program and FIU and what's going on in a positive way, right? And we know, that changes the second you lose a game, right? But it's that roller coaster, right? But it really just brings that relevancy, the credibility, the notoriety. It just brings you, brings that to your program. Winner, right? And so and we know that, right? So ultimately that's what we all strive for is to win. So it's been great. It's been a lot of positive energy.
So let's do a couple of rapid fire questions before we get to the main one at the end. Okay. What would you say out of the 3 wins so far, what do you think has been the most impressive one so far?
I would say the most impressive was North Texas.
Right.
Just because we played so well on both sides of the ball. And needed to come back to win at the end. I think that was huge.
Who would you say, if you had to pick a specific player from both offense and defense as the team MVPs at this very moment?
Wow. Well, I think I think everybody, right? But it'd be hard on defense not to pick Donovan Manuel, right? Just, I mean, he's what, top 10, top 15 in the country in tackles, right?
He's second in all the FBS.
Yes. Yes, and I'm not sure if you go with Kewan or Chris Mitchell on offense. With, I mean, it's you got Kewan leading the league in passing yards, and you got Chris Mitchell, one of the top 10 leading receivers in the country in receiving yards, right? So, but obviously, as Kewan likes to say a lot in his interviews, neither one of those guys are doing any of that without an offensive line and blocking for them, and tight ends blocking for them, and running backs blocking for them, and receivers making good catches and getting separation and getting open. So it's hard to pick any one, but if I have to vote, it'd be those guys, I think.
Favorite uniform combination so far?
Favorite uniform so far? I'm gonna have to go with the full Biscayne blues.
Yes.
Full Biscayne blues, yeah. Which is a secondary color of FIU, by the way. For any of those folks out there that have
baseball, basketball,
anybody out there with old man takes about that color, it is a secondary. It is a secondary color for FIU.
All right, let's get into the big question today, Scott.
Okay.
I think we know who you're going to take to win this game. I want to know your synopsis for how you think this game's going to go. Give us a score prediction on how FIU will win this one.
Sure. So I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I think they're a great opponent. They can put points up on the board. We can put points up on the board. They've got a solid athletic defense. We've got a solid athletic defense. So I think it's going to be a back and forth type game. But I think we're going to get it done somewhere in the range of the 31 to 28, 31 to 24 type game. Somewhere probably within a touchdown. But the home team, the good guys, the Panthers get it done for sure.
Beautiful. And then FIU has a week off to rest and relax, then it's back to work. Scott, you're great as always. A veteran of the show now, twice on the podcast and now on the preview show. Thank you again so much.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. Paws up.
Paws up.